Hello everybody, E here. Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about my Halloween Spooktober reading list. That's just my name. I'm not following any tags or anything. That's just my name for it. Just being stupid. Anyways, so there's a obvious theme with a lot of this stuff. You'll notice when we get into it. And then it's like half of it's themed, and then the other half of it is just 80s horror novels or paperback horror that I've been meaning to get to forever. And I decided this year, since I took such a long break from paperback, small press, and indie horror, I was going to jump back into it. A couple things that aren't shown right now. I'm currently listening to Creature by Hunter Shea. I will be reading, I'm going to mess up your name, dude, so I apologize. Skull-Faced Boy by Chad Lutsky. If I got that right, let me know down there in the doobly-doo. So those two things are not, I can't show them because I don't have my tablet to show you the audiobook, and the other one hasn't arrived yet. Chad was nice enough to message me and ask me if I wanted a copy. I said, hails to the yeah. So we're going to start off with books that I've already read. Or tried to read, and then we're going to go on to currently reading, and then we're going to go on to what I plan to read in the month of October. So I finished, you guys, if you watch the channel regularly, I finished Joyride by Stephen Fry, and I liked it. It was 3 stars. It was big, it was dumb, it was stupid. It was like a Friday the 13th movie with a lot of sex and gore and really, really impossible but entertaining kills. Which, I mean, that's that genre. That's what we show up for. When people complain about the deaths in slasher films or books as being over the top or not realistic, that's what it's there for. It's the escapism of seeing what would happen if that stuff was possible. My favorite, as far as that's concerned, are the later Friday the 13th movies, like Jason X is probably my favorite in the entire series. Don't at me. Either that one or Part 7. And then also the Hatchet series. I love the Hatchet series because it's just ridiculous kills. Next up, this one was like the antithesis of everything I just said, which was Dewclaws by Stephen Gresham. This was like YA. They had like no real... Everything was like Goosebumps horror, maybe not even YA, but maybe middle grade. So I put this one down. It wasn't doing anything for me. I'm not sure. I think it had something to do with more like a psychological suspense. Maybe the kid, or not kid. I was also confused by the main character. Was he a kid or was he a grown man? I couldn't tell half the time. But anyways, it just wasn't my cup of tea at all. So next up, we have my currently readings. I have Bentley Little's The Vanishing. Boy, this Joker is hitting all the right notes for me. I'm taking my time with it, too. I'm taking my time with this one and the next one, which I need to get going because I got a big list over here. But this one, man, this is gnarly. There's some stuff in here that has made me gag. Bentley Little really pulled out all the stops. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for you. If you like being disgusted more than maybe horrified, this is a book for you, I promise. Alright, next up we have another one that that is, if you're following me on Twitter, we've been having a great time with this book for the worst possible reasons. This Twilight Ice by Dean R. Koontz. Yes, I put the R in there because something happened to this man when he lost the R. He lost something special. Probably all the odes to semen. But anyways, this one is a whole lot of fun. The first half of the book was written well before the second half of the book, and he released it. I think he released it under another name. I'm not sure. But me and my buddy Jake LaFrance are reading this together. And the second half of the book, Dark Lightning, was written well after the first half of the book was published, and you can tell the difference. The first half of the book, and this comes into the theme that I'm using this year, but the carnival, once they leave the carnival, everything is downhill, but it's still one of my favorite books of all time, if for nothing else but for the first half. Y'all, I am sweating. Ooh, Lord. It is still hot here, and of course, you know my AC, if you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you know my AC is loud as hell. Now on to what I hope to get to in the entire month of October. First one is, I don't even know how to pronounce it, so I'm going to Tocantins, I think, by Al Serentinio. Tonio? Serentonio? Yeah, Serentonio. Let's go with that. I know Al works with Neil Gaiman a lot. They did they edited a collection together. I've never actually read anything of his that wasn't Halloween themed. His Orangeville series, Halloween Land, Horrorween, and there's another one I can't remember, but it happens in the town of Orangefield. Great Halloween series. It's usually $1 for all 3 books on Kindle come Halloween season, so check that out. I might link it to in the doobly-doo, but I might not, because I might forget. So, next up. This one, I don't know, it's really iffy, because I wasn't planning really on reading Twilight Ice, but if I get done Twilight Ice and I feel like I can still stomach some Kuntz, we're going to try and read The Mask, because this is one of the ones that I read so long ago I can't remember anything about. I do know it's about a scary kid, so I'm looking forward to that one. At least give it another try. Next up, we have one of the few Layman novels that I own and have not read. We have Cuts. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward to just some brutal cheese, even if it is rapey. I'm going to try and get through it. I don't even know what it's about. I'm not going to read the back of the cover, any of that. It's dusty. It's been sitting on the bottom of my... Stop waving the book. EMTs. Anyways, next up is an author I've been trying to find some of his books for the longest time secondhand so I could try them out. That's what I do with most authors. I try them out secondhand and then I buy their stuff new if I like it. Unfortunately, this author passed away a while ago. He was friends of Stephen and Tabitha King. In fact, Tabitha King finished one of his books after he died, and that's Malcolm McDowell. I'm going to try Katie, because this is the only book I could find of his, and it was still $4.50 at Trading Books in Montgomery, Alabama, which is nuts, because they're usually like half. I think it's a quarter of the price of the cover, maybe it's half. And this one, I can't even find how much it was to begin with, but I know it wasn't. I know it wasn't, $9. Anyway, next up, a guilty pleasure of mine that I never talk about that I should talk about is Ray Garten. I'm not big on vampires, and I think this is a vampire book. It's Live Girls, but I love Ray Garten's work. I even follow him on Twitter now. He's let's just put it, he doesn't care who he offends, and I appreciate that about him. He's also kind of centrist as far as it seems like his political views, so he makes fun of both sides with the memes that he shares, and I appreciate that. Alright, next up, we have another, I'll save that for last. Carnival by William W. Johnstone. Johnston, I don't know. But there's a couple books about carnivals, ain't there? Yeah, that's a theme. Anywho, so Tocantins was the carnival theme as well. And so is Twilight Ice. You get where I'm going. I've never read anything by William W. Johnstone. I know that he made a bigger name for himself as a Western author. If that's correct, let me know down there in the doobly-doo. I might be wrong. It might be, he might have been a bigger, I know he was a word mill. I know he was very prolific. He cranked out books. Crank out? Oh, I'm an author. I just can't talk. Alright, last, I know he wrote a ton of books that were both Westerns and horror. I don't know if he ever crossed over. If he did, I'd like to know. Let me know down there in the doobly-doo. So, last but not least, this is going to be a buddy read with my friend Aaron Nash. But Usher's Passing by Robert R. McCammon. So, this one, I have no idea what this is about. I think it has to do with the actual, Usher's house. The House of Usher from Edgar Allan Poe. I don't know if he rebooted the story or what. I'm not sure, but, it's got a pumpkin skeleton. How can you go through life at loving Halloween and not have read this book? I feel like I have let myself down. So I am going to give this a shot. This is post Trilogy of Trash McCammon edition. I don't like his first 3 novels. He didn't like his first 3 novels. He doesn't think they're as bad nowadays. But I think that his first 3 novels were really, really bad. Baal, B-A-A-L, Bethany Sin, and The Night Boat. Bethany Sin is probably the best of the 3. But I didn't really care too much for any of them. You can go ahead and fuss at me about that down in the doobly-doo. Everybody does. It's okay. So that's my October Spooktober reading list. What is yours? Let me know down in the comments below. If you want to and you're on Instagram and like to actually share your stack, please do tag me at Edward Lorn, and I would love to check it out. But until next time, I have been E, you have been you, this has been a reading list. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye!